Well, hello, YTPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today I've got an interview with Cosmo, Cat Dad Piper. Say hello to the group, Cosmo.
Hey everybody.
What are you smoking today?
Today I've got my Molina pipe and I am smoking some Autumn Evening from Cornell and Dale.
And no surprise to anybody, I've got one of my little Pipe by Lee's and I've got some Rustica. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Some people think it's too strong, but if you like the Black Irish or Brown Irish twists, Rustica could be right up your alley.
Well, I haven't had any of those at all, but I do like big flavors, either aromatic or non-aromatic. So,
Well, this definitely has it's a
all right.
fantastic blend. So, Cosmo, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, what you do,
Sure.
what makes you.
I live in Waterloo, Iowa. So middle of the country. Waterloo is the home of John Deere, so it's a big employer in the area. I was first grandchild on both sides and an only child, and currently I live about 6 blocks away from where I lived the first year of my life, so I didn't travel too far. Hobby wise, I'm big into coffee, a little bit of a coffee snob, and big into board gaming.
Do you roast your own?
No, I picked up a small roaster, but haven't done anything with it. So I'd like to get into it. It's definitely
It sounds fun.
It's more parsimonious, that's for sure.
So
you can get the green beans for about half the price. So
right. Board games. Have you connected with Steve Smoking Cardboard?
Yeah. I mean, we both know that we have interest, and I think he commented on video the other night that he was playing a couple games last night. So it's kind of nice having him in the group, because a lot of times you try to explain board games and people will go to like Monopoly or Risk or something like that, and it's just such a bigger universe out there that it's hard to explain to people that aren't part of that community.
I know I would have to just try some of them to really get a feel for what's really out there. Because board games, like, it's funny you mentioned two of the only ones I really know, Monopoly and Risk. And
I mean, the best way I've always explained it is, or try to explain it is, if there's a theme that you like, so sci-fi, Western, whatever, there's a game for it, at least one.
Okay. Yeah, the way Steve was describing it, in one of his videos, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe a year even, he showed his board game collection, and I'm dumbfounded. I had no idea that such a huge variety of games existed. I'm a bit of a simpleton when it comes to games.
I have too many of them, and my back family room where I've got huge shelves for game boards are currently overflowing. So I will say one thing: getting into the pipe hobby has helped me curb that hobby a little bit. So
well,
make some money go elsewhere.
That gives us a good segue. So how long have you been smoking a pipe?
It's a bit of a complicated answer, I guess. So several years ago, when I lived in another house, we had a closed front porch, and me and a couple of buddies have gotten into the hookah, or the Egyptian water pipe, and a couple of other friends were hanging out, and they brought pipes, and so thought that'd be really cool, because I always enjoyed the aroma of pipe tobacco, and so I ended up finding my grandfather's pipe, and then after that, I went to the local tobacco store and picked up a Dr. Graybo and got this one on eBay and smoked maybe half dozen, 10 times total, and didn't like it anymore because I didn't have my method figured out, and I was always smoking too hot, so the bowl would get hot, or I'd have to relight it 20 times for a 15-minute smoke. And kind of stepped away and got into cigars. And then last fall, smoking buddy Matt and I were out on the deck. I wanted a cigar, and he brought his pipes and started getting into it last fall. And then this spring got into it and got into the YTPCs.
So how did you find the YTPC?
Smoking buddy Matt, he'd been watching them for a few years and told me a few guys to check out, like Onion and of course Matches, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of started down that path. And I think I had found Matches right before Matt mentioned him, just because I was researching a Savinelli pipe and
Ah,
he had done a video on it. So
yeah. Now, I think everybody can take a stab at it, but how did you get your channel name?
well, obviously I'm a cat dad, so and decided to make it one word just because I figured it'd be easier to search. If I had 3 separate words, I'd probably get all these other cat people or
Or dad,
people looking
or
for dad jokes or something. So I went over a couple other names and landed on that one. And
so how many cats do you have? Do you know?
yeah, not that bad. I had 4. Sadie passed away last month.
Right.
She was 14 years old. And then I've got Marty, who's the oldest. He's probably like 7 years old.
Mm.
And he was my cat, but he was more so my dad's cat. But he came to live with me a few years ago after my father passed away. And then the twin boys that are the youngest, they're Jake and Elwood. And they, when I first took them in, you couldn't tell them apart, so you had to get different collars. But now that they're my kids, I know just by personality and
Sure.
behavior here. So
Sure. So
and
they're relatively young. They're the 3 that you have left.
yep. Because I think I've had Jake and Elwood are like maybe 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know I can't say we've all been curious. I've been curious just how many cats you you had. To
4 was definitely my limit. I don't think I'm gonna go back up to that number anytime soon. So
now I got a question for you, and this one runs personal. We have 2 male cats, one that's 10 or 11 years old. The other one is still a kitten, and we're having territory issues. You've got all males. Do you have that at all?
no, when I introduced Marty, it definitely took a few weeks, but they pretty much, well, Jake and Ella, because they're twins, they've been inseparable best friends anyways.
Yeah.
And then they eventually welcomed Marty into the group, and so they're all best friends, even though sometimes they like to play a little rough. But
Yeah.
I can wake up in the morning and have 3 cats laying on the corner of the bed on top of me. So
Mhm. Yeah, we're actually pretty lucky. Our boys are they're sweet and cuddly, but yeah, they're just not getting along right now.
mm,
But no, so yeah, just curious, if you were the YTPC version of a crazy cat lady, or whether you had that number under control. And
3 is as crazy as I get, I think, right now. So,
all right. Now, how did you decide to jump into making videos?
well, I've been watching not just YTPC but YouTube in general for years, and I had always kind of thought it'd be interesting to do a channel, but never really had much of like what I would do for content. And so this spring, once I started watching YTPC videos and to seeing how great the community was, but actually my intro, my first video I made because my friend Matt started mentioning gauze, and I'm one that I like trying to win stuff. So I think my first video was a GAW, and then I made a couple other videos, and then after a few, it's just something I really enjoy, and I don't know. I think it almost is an addiction. Like if I'm bored, I might just pick, okay, I want to make a video. What I want to make it about, or and just I really appreciate how it kind of adds the next level of engagement in the group. So
It definitely does. And have you checked out any of the Zoom/Google meetups?
I did a Google meetup once with All Bright Up,
Okay,
but otherwise, a lot of times during the evening, and the evening kind of becomes my time to just kind of
sure.
space out and whatever.
Yeah, I try to catch John's every other week or so. It's just that for me that adds that next level. Even is it's one thing to sit in on a live stream and type things back and forth at each other while you're listening to somebody, but it's a lot of fun just to get face to face and
Yeah.
and have that,
Well,
that interaction.
and to have the face to face, like the one I was in, we had people from all over.
Yeah,
You know, we had, I can't think of his channel name right now, but Glenn and
Drop Bear
yeah, Drop Bear and
and Boris the Piper shows up.
yep,
Uh,
Boris and
yeah.
Jose and
Yeah, he gets people from all over the world. It can be very interesting.
yeah.
Now, you said you've really been into the hobby for about a year or so. Have you developed a taste for a particular shape or pipe maker yet?
When I enjoy Savinelli's, I only have one uh artisan pipe, I guess you call it, and so that's Anderson pipes. So I enjoy that. If I were more able to, I'd be probably buying from Simon, LCS, Eldrick Pipes, was it BJV Pipes?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. As far as shape, I'm tending to like the billiard more than like the bent, and 320 is probably my favorite shape, at least of the pipes I have.
Yeah, that's the one with just the slight bend, right?
Yeah, slight bend, big bulbous bowl, and
An author type shape or something like that.
author.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous pipe. Yeah, I have to admit I like straight pipes if for no other reason than that they're so easy to clean.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a nice graceful line to a well curved pipe, but boy, straight pipes are so easy to clean.
Mm-hmm.
But the next question then would follow on. You said you liked big, bold flavors, whether they're aromatics or others. What are your current favorite blends?
Well, my all-time favorite right now is the Cornell Dill Cross-Eyed Cricket, and that
Seen you smoke that a few times.
it kind of checks both boxes. It's very much an English blend, but then it's got a rum topping, so it gives you a little bit of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just smells great. Otherwise, lately I've been digging the From Beyond.
I have not tried that one. I'm gonna have to try and get a sample from somebody. I understand it's sold out.
Yeah, it's a. To me, it reminds me of like a. What is it? I guess it's supposed to be kind of loosely based on Nightcap, like the Dunhill recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've never had that, but I've had Peterson Nightcap. So it seems to me like a tuned down version of that with a little extra latakia. So
Well, if I read correctly somewhere, he said when he came up with that, he had smoked an aged tin of Nightcap or something, and so he was trying to recreate the aged flavor versus the fresh. I
Sure.
thought I read that somewhere, but now Nightcap's another one I haven't tried either, so I wouldn't even be able to compare the two.
Yeah, and then as far as aromatics now, I'm really enjoying Autumn Evening, which I have right now. Just I get a lot of raisin in the note, and that, and then the Nutty Irishman. So
mm, okay, well, the the Autumn Evening is one that, yeah, that I've tried, and that did have a nice flavor. I'm not big into most aromatics, mostly if they taste like food. It really
mhm,
doesn't do it for me, but that one, I have to admit, that was pretty nice.
yeah. So yep. But so yeah, I tend to like the extremes. Either highly aromatic or give me smoky and latakia. So
Mhm. Yeah, I don't have much sense of smell, so I need the big bold flavors myself. And anything that is described as a nuanced, you know,
mhm.
that's lost on me. Give me that bold Kentucky, the Irish twists, the rustica, anything that's gonna kick me in the seat really does it
Right.
for me. So now that you've taken the plunge into the YTPC, what keeps you here?
Combination of, again, me just kind of getting hooked on making videos, and then just the community as a whole. Whether it be comments and responding to comments or emails, or just seeing how supportive the group is. I had the water heater issues a week and a half or so ago, and I kind of reached out to the group and got a lot of good advice and tips and prayers, and
Mm,
a couple of guys actually did help me out a little bit. So
good deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I was relatively new to the YTPC when the first time I saw the group come together and do a GoFundMe to help somebody out, and I thought, wow, what a neat community. Because I had followed some other non-pipe channels, or at least browsed them, and a lot of other communities, there's a lot of sniping, and they're just not, they're not real communities. And boy,
right,
I loved that.
yeah, I definitely think you'd be hard pressed anywhere on YouTube or social media to find a better community as far as online. And the other thing that definitely helps keep a person here is, we don't have time for drama. We just it's about lifting up everybody else in the group. So
Yeah, the drama is rare, and
right.
and we like it that way.
Well, and that's because if drama does pop up, we don't cling on to it. We let it pass by and move on.
Yeah, deal with it and move past it. Yep,
Right.
that has been the trend, at least that I've observed as well. So
Yeah.
let's see, board games and
Mhm,
cats. And
mhm.
you mentioned in one of your videos that you wanted to your dream vacation was Ireland.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would definitely love to go there, see the countryside, visit the local places, Guinness Brewery. I kind of joked that partially because I wouldn't mind meeting a lady down in Ireland, but honestly, the first trip I'd take once I'm able to would be to Thailand. I've got
Hmm.
an aunt and uncle that lived down there 3 out of 4 years at a time, doing missions down there. So, and my father had been there a couple times. So I'm in the process of losing weight, and once I get to go weight, they're ready for me to come down there. So,
Oh, that would be a fantastic trip. I've never been to Asia.
so Yeah, I've seen photos from my uncle and my dad, and know the places where they've been and the things they've done. The boat rides, or you know, walking these little high up bridges in the middle of the woods to go zip lining, and
Yeah, my
it's one of
wife.
those places. Once you get there, it's very inexpensive. So,
Mhm. My wife just corrected me. Yes, a few years ago, my company sent me on a trip to one of our facilities in China. But
mhm.
for the vast majority of my trip there, I was escorted everywhere I went. I didn't get to explore on my own, and so being on my own
Yeah,
in somewhere in like you said, Thailand, or even going back to China and doing it as a tourist instead of as a business prisoner would be
right.
that would be very interesting,
Yeah.
certainly.
So,
So, well, do you have any parting words for the YTPC?
just as always, thank you for your continued support, for watching me and being active in the community, and just find comfort in a pipe and find tobaccos you enjoy, and thanks for being part of the group, I guess.
Well, folks, I will put the link to Cat Dad Piper down below, as always. Give him a look. I think you'll enjoy uh, his content. Getting to his, smoke a pipe with me, always very relaxing. Um, so give him a look. And with that, light something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.